Yes, the FIFA 2026 World Cup has been all that we expected to be, all buzzing, entertaining, and of course, history making at the World Cup. But do you know there are more than 10 things that have happened at this season or this year's FIFA World Cup that never happened before? Follow me. Let's talk about some of those things that have happened. First, you already know it is the first time that three host nations are made out of the FIFA World Cup. We have USA, Canada, and Mexico as the host nations of the World Cup, and of course also the first time in the World Cup history that not just the host nations were to have one, of course, opening ceremony. Three nations went on to have three different opening ceremony for their three different opening match. Also at the World Cup, do you know that it's the first time that over 1,200 players have been registered for the FIFA 2026 World Cup? The first time as well that over 8 players in the World Cup are aged 40 or plus at the FIFA World Cup. Also the first time that 3 players will be representing their country for their 6th FIFA World Cup across various editions. Of course, we'll have the players for Mexico, Guillermo Ochoa, we'll have that for Argentina, Lionel Messi, and we'll have that for Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, successfully for these 3 players, they have been able to represent their country at least once in the qualification. Also, do you know that this is the World Cup that we'll get to see players also aged less than 21 years, more than 23 players aged like 21 years at the World Cup? Do you know the smallest country in the World Cup is Curacao? The smallest country at the World Cup is Cape Verde. And of course, at the World Cup, do you also know that, of course, Lionel Messi became the first, of course, player to represent his country at 6 World Cup before he was joined by Cristiano Ronaldo and thereby Guillermo Ochoa. While Cristiano Ronaldo, on the other part, became the first man alive in football to get to score at 6 FIFA World Cup, of course, in his career. And also, he became the second oldest player to score at the FIFA World Cup, but then the oldest player to get to score a brace. You won't wonder why I said the second oldest player. The former player that got to score at the age of 42 was Cameron Miller, but he got a brace, and so you see the oldest now to get to score a brace. But let's talk about some of the country and what they have been able to achieve, which also became the first time for their country. First, Canada have never won a game in the World Cup. In fact, they have never gotten a point in the World Cup, but at the 2026 FIFA World Cup, they got a point and even went further to get 3 points. And also, they became the first country from the CONCACAF session to score at least 6 goals at the FIFA World Cup. As Canada, South Africa and the other part also have never gone past the group stage, but they also did it. So you see Canada, South Africa are also the first time they are getting to qualify from the group stage into the 132 at the FIFA World Cup. Do you also know, of course, there are so many rules that are also being introduced by the, of course, FIFA body that have been implemented in this position. First, there are countdown now. When you talk about countdown, you look at the throw-ins now, there are 5-second countdown. If you do not do it before the 5 seconds run out, the other team will get to have the throw-in. And when it comes to goalkeeper, if you do not get the ball out of your feet before the countdown ends, the corner kick will be awarded to the other player. Also, when you talk about decision, also VAR has also been introduced to make themselves a big part in the game, which of course try to check decision that goes right or goes wrong, especially when it comes to goal kick that has been given as corner and corner kick that has been given as goal kick. Also, do you know that, of course, there are certain players that have been, of course, in the situation that they are, of course, the participants of the rule. One of them, of course, is Paraguay player, of course, Amarim, of course, who, of course, who, of course, has had himself in the history book for 2 different reasons. The first time he was there was when the referee had to make the VAR the central man to decide if the initial decision he gave to him against USA, when he, of course, gave a yellow card and a free kick to, of course, Paraguay, he did rescind that decision, and instead he gave, of course, Amarim, of course, a yellow card. And then about the next game for Paraguay, when they played against Turkey, he became the first player to be sent off after covering his mouth while speaking with an opposition player. Remember, FIFA has given that rule to say if you're in a competition situation with a particular player, you don't have to cover your mouth, because if you do cover your mouth, that means you are saying something wrong. If you are saying something wrong, it means that you have to be sent off from the game. However, also talk, of course, the first time in the World Cup as well. Also forgetting some young country are also gotten their first point. Curacao got their first point in the first World Cup they have added. Of course, the first time in the World Cup that we're going to see at least 3 players getting to score a brace in 2 matches in a row. We saw Lionel Messi having to score a hat-trick. He went on to score a double. We saw Kylian Mbappe 2 games he's got to score double. Also saw Erling Haaland from Norway now also get to score doubles for his country. I cannot forget Ronaldo also went to score double, but didn't do it in 2 games. He only did it in 1 game. So I'll tell you of a fast, many first time have happened at the FIFA World Cup, and I expect many more first time. Not forgetting the game between Japan and Tunisia will be the 1,000 game that will be, of course, officiated in the FIFA World Cup history. So you expect many other history to talk about, and I can tell you one thing, expect me to come back to give you, do you know, that also have happened at the FIFA World Cup. So keep it locked down on this channel, keep it locked down on this page, because more details about what has happened for the first time the FIFA World Cup will come to you right here on this dice. What right here? Keep watching, keep liking, and follow this page.